In this video, we'll be going over 9.10 from Signing Naturally, suggesting a place to eat. So this whole chapter, this whole unit actually, is really focused on going to a restaurant, what the environment looks like, where the seating is, what people do there, what kind of food, all of these things. So a lot of what is in this chapter you can learn from watching the DVDs. So that is a really awesome thing where they describe all the different environments, but we will go over a couple of the elements for these, okay? So for this one, it talks about the restaurant Benihana, which is a Japanese restaurant where the chef actually comes out to the table. They have kind of like a U-shaped table around them that you sit at, and they cook the food for you, and they do all kinds of little tricks and things with the food, it says. So for this one, it talks about describing the environment and then setting up what the table and seating arrangement looks like, okay? So you could talk about the fact that it's a Japanese restaurant. It's called Benihana. You could talk about what the environment looks like, specifically the table and the seating arrangement, which they do in the video. So you can describe how they have the grill right here, and then they have the table set up this way, and then the chairs they have sit here, okay? You can talk about the man comes up, and he has the meat, and he cooks it, and then he will, like, be chopping things up. He'll take it and he'll flip it in his head and it'll fall in. Maybe he holds out, he has a pocket here that he holds open, and then he throws something up in there and it falls into his pocket. They do all these kinds of different things to describe what the environment is like when you're at Benihana. It talks about what people do there, so you can talk about how, like friends or family, they can watch, sing around the table, and then they can eat. And then it talks about giving your opinion about the particular place. So maybe the person would say, it's kind of expensive, but it's really, delicious, good food, okay? Maybe they would say, it's nice, but one warning. And then the video talks about the fact that if you come and there's only 2 people in your party or a couple people, they have 8 people seated around the table. So it's kind of a negative because you're sitting with a bunch of people you don't know. Okay, so you would say, one warning, have 8. If you 2 means 6, I don't know who. Okay, so you can describe things like that as well. Next, they go on to the Hard Rock Cafe. As we've practiced before, they talk about all of the decorations and the things that looks like in a Hard Rock Cafe. So it talks about the table or the counter and seating arrangements, as well as the wall decorations for this one. So for Hard Rock Cafe, then you can talk about, I think it talked about how it has like red walls, and then it has like different, like the black circle just put up all over the place, the records. You could talk about the fact that it has guitars just here and here and here. You'll be using this bent L classifier with both hands. You could talk about famous people, their clothes, they signed and then they donated it. So that one's, set up in different places, or they have like posters, so they're put up different places. You could do a straight arrangement. You could say up high or low. You could just kind of place them almost haphazardly or randomly. So there's lots of different ways that you can describe that. You can explain the tables. They have long tables here, or if they have like, maybe they have booth, like small table and then like a booth set up. Maybe they have some small tables, and so they have it just set up here. So there's lots of different ways that you could describe how the Hard Rock Cafe looks. You could talk about, your opinion of it, and one negative thing about, one warning, a really long line all the time, okay? Next, it goes into Chuck E. Cheese's, and so for this one, it talks about where everything is set up. So on this side, it has games, just so many of them, and you can play. And then over here in this area, they have the food where you can have like a salad or pizza, and soda, different things like that. So you can set up the 2 areas, and then you can explain over here they have games and they get tickets, and they just, come out, and then you keep gathering them all. Once you get them all, you take them over, and then you exchange it. You get a prize. So it talks about the different things about that, and then gives your opinion on it, and just say, oh, one warning, really loud, okay, or really loud. Both ways you can do loud. Okay, so for that, this one is really just practicing telling about the restaurant, what you think. So each of the elements that's been describing up to now is something that you're just going to put into practice with. So first off, you'll give the description of the environment. You'll explain the kind of food that they serve there. What do people do there? Or is it a place where you go and dance? Do you watch the chef make the food? Do you sit there and quietly eat? Is it a louder atmosphere with the kids running around? What your opinion is about the price, about the quality of food, what the atmosphere is in the restaurant, and then the one drawback, one negative thing, the one warning against it, okay? So your greatest goal in this is to really work on using all of the different classifiers. You can use the descriptive classifiers, the locative or location classifiers, as well as the element classifiers, okay? So showing how things work with the element classifiers, where things are located with the locative ones, and then the descriptive classifiers to show what something looks like or what it does as well. Whenever you are listing food items, it's important that you nod your head for each one. So they have pizza, salad, they have drinks, okay, so you're going to nod your head while you name off each of those. And then when you're signing one warning, remember that this is a topic is one warning, and then your comment is going to be whatever the warning is. So one warning, you're going to raise your eyebrows for that. You got this. Keep up the good work.